They gave him a lawyer who couldn't cross-examine a single witness. That was the point. The verdict was written before the trial began, and everyone in that room knew it. So why did they bother with a trial at all? On December 26, 1896, Jose Rizal walked into a courtroom at the Cuartel de España already condemned, not by evidence, by a decision made weeks earlier, in rooms he was never allowed to enter. He was charged with rebellion, sedition, and forming illegal associations, the intellectual author of a revolution he had actually tried to stop. Here is what they didn't want you to know. Rizal was tried by a military court, not a civil one. That single choice stripped him of nearly every protection. He could not choose his own lawyer freely. He chose Luis Taviel de Andrade, brother of the very officer who had once been his companion and de facto guard during Rizal's stay in Calamba. Taviel defended him with real courage, but the rules had already tied his hands. The defense was forbidden from cross-examining the witnesses against Rizal. The testimonies were simply read aloud and accepted. Documents were presented that Rizal had no chance to challenge. Statements were attributed to him from people he could not confront. He was allowed to write a supplementary defense. In it, he calmly dismantled the charges point by point. He reminded the court he had publicly opposed the uprising. He noted he'd offered to serve as a military doctor in Cuba. It didn't matter. The prosecution didn't need to prove he started the revolution. They only needed to prove his words had inspired it. And that is the turn that reframes everything. Rizal wasn't executed for what he did. He was executed for what he wrote, for ideas already loose in the world, ideas no firing squad could ever kill. They killed the man to silence the pen. Instead, they made both immortal. At dawn on December 30th, they marched him to Bagumbayan. The verdict had been signed. The outcome was never in doubt. He died facing the sea, and history turned to face him. Here's the lesson buried in that rigged courtroom. Power can control the verdict. It cannot control the memory. What they tried hardest to erase became the thing we could never forget. More than a century later, we're still saying his name. So say it. Teach it. Pass it to someone who thinks Rizal was just a name on a street sign. Because a nation that forgets how it was silenced, forgets how it learned to speak. Which part of this trial did they never teach you in school?